Portland always smelled like rain, metallic, earthy, and strangely comforting. But that November it carried something else, something sharp that clung to the back of Marcus Hale's throat every time he stepped outside. He couldn't explain it except to say that the city felt off. Like the air itself knew a secret and was waiting for him to catch up. It was a Tuesday morning when the first real crack formed in the quiet life he thought he'd built. Marcus stood in the kitchen, watching steam curl from his coffee mug while the furnace hummed through the vents. A typical Oregon drizzle tapped against the windows. His wife, Elise, sat at the small breakfast table, scrolling her phone with one hand and stirring her yogurt with the other. He didn't know why he noticed it, maybe instinct, or maybe just the way her lips curved, a half-smile she usually reserved for him. But he noticed it. And he noticed how fast she hit it. She clicked her phone off when she saw him looking. "You're up early." "So are you," Marcus replied. His voice sounded normal, even to himself, but his stomach twisted. Her hair was damp from a shower, she smelled faintly of vanilla and eucalyptus. Normally he loved that. Today it made him uneasy. Elise only wore that scent when she was stressed. "I couldn't sleep," she said lightly. "Deadlines at the firm." Marcus nodded, leaning against the counter. "Everything okay?" "Of course." She smiled, practiced, quick. Then she checked the wall clock. "I should leave early. I've got a meeting downtown." That was odd. Elise hated morning meetings. He opened his mouth to ask more, but she stood and kissed him quickly before he could speak, the kind of distracted peck she gave when she didn't want to linger. And something inside him whispered, "Pay attention." Over the next few weeks, Marcus did. It was nothing obvious at first. Elise stayed late a little more often. She took her phone into the bathroom now, something she'd never done in their 8 years of marriage. She bought a new set of lingerie he hadn't seen her wear once. And then there was the laughter. One night, past midnight, Marcus woke up to the soft glow of Elise's phone lighting the bedroom. She was turned away from him, shoulders shaking with a silent giggle. "Elise," he murmured. She flinched hard, then clicked her screen black. "Couldn't sleep. Just scrolling." Scrolling didn't make people blush. Marcus told himself he was imagining things. Stress at work, maybe. Seasonal depression. Or maybe he was paranoid, his father had been cheated on twice, and Marcus sometimes worried he'd inherited that fear like a genetic curse. But the signs kept coming. Their anniversary passed with a dinner that felt like two coworkers meeting out of obligation. Elise spent most of the night checking her phone under the table. When the waiter brought dessert, she stepped outside to take a call, but Marcus could see her through the window. She wasn't talking. She was smiling. Smiling at her screen. The whisper inside him grew louder, "Something is happening." It was early December when Elise came home smelling like someone else's cologne. Marcus didn't notice immediately. He was elbow-deep in a plumbing repair under the kitchen sink, muttering curses at the ancient pipes in their bungalow. Elise breezed in, dropping her purse and kicking off her boots. Her cheeks were flushed from the cold. "Long day?" she asked. "You could say that," he grunted, tightening a stubborn valve. She knelt beside him to hand him a towel. And that's when it hit him. Not vanilla. Not eucalyptus. A warm, musky scent. A man's cologne. Not his. He froze. Elise didn't seem to notice, or pretended not to. "You okay?" she asked. "Yeah," he said quickly. But his heart was pounding. That night, long after Elise had fallen asleep, Marcus lay staring at the ceiling, replaying it all. The cologne. The late nights. The hidden phone. The lingerie. The laughter. The whisper became a voice. "She's cheating." He hated the thought so much he almost buried it. Almost. Until the next morning. Marcus was a contractor, carpentry, remodeling, home renovation. He often took jobs across Portland's east side, and today he was repairing windows on a craftsman home near Laurelhurst Park. During lunch, he opened his glove compartment to grab a tape measure, but something else caught his eye. Elise's spare work phone. It must have slipped out of her purse the night before. He stared at it for a long time, wrestling with himself. He knew he shouldn't invade her privacy. He also knew she'd been lying. The phone buzzed. A text appeared on the lock screen. Can't stop thinking about last night. Same time tomorrow. Marcus felt the world tilt. His hands went cold. His breath hollowed out. Same time tomorrow. Last night. He didn't open the phone. He didn't need to. His marriage was sliding off a cliff. For the next week, Marcus didn't confront Elise. Not yet. He needed to know the truth, not just guess at it. And some dark part of him, the part he didn't want to admit existed, wanted to see how far she would go. He became an observer in his own life. He watched her dress with a new energy, choosing outfits he hadn't seen in years. He watched her text under the table during dinner. He watched her lie with ease. More deadlines. Just a late meeting. Don't wait up. The truth clung to her like the rain. One night she came home at 1:15 a.m. Her hair was messy, lips swollen like she'd been kissed for hours. She looked radiant, painfully, stupidly radiant, and Marcus felt himself fracture. Elise slipped into bed beside him, whispering, "Missed you." The lie burned his skin. The moment everything became undeniable happened on a Sunday morning. Elise was in the shower. Marcus was folding laundry on the bed when her phone, the main one, lit up. This time, it wasn't locked. She'd been playing music on it earlier, the screen was still open. A message popped up. "Aaron. I'm still tasting you. Next time, let's not leave the hotel so soon. I want hours with you." Marcus's soul left his body. "Aaron. He read the message again. And again. Then he heard the shower turn off. He closed the phone, dropped it exactly where she'd left it, and sat on the edge of the bed, hands clasped between his knees, heart pounding so loud he thought the walls could hear it. Elise stepped out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel, humming lightly before she saw his face. The humming stopped. "Marcus? Are you okay?" He looked at her, really looked at her. At the woman he'd built a life with, the woman he defended, loved, trusted. "Elise," he said quietly, "who's Aaron?" Her entire body went still. Her hand tightened around the towel. Her eyes flickered left, a tiny movement, but loud as a scream. "Why are you going through my—" "I saw the message." His voice cracked, but he kept it steady. "I know." There it was. The truth, pulled into the open like a corpse dragged into daylight. Elise's face shattered. For a moment Marcus saw guilt, terror, grief, then something harder. Defiance. "Marcus. I never wanted to hurt you. That's what people say right before they tear someone apart." She swallowed. "I'm sorry." "Why?" he whispered. She didn't answer. They talked, or tried to, for hours. Or maybe they stopped talking and started bleeding words all over the living room. Marcus couldn't remember every sentence, just pieces. "It wasn't supposed to happen. We were just co-workers. You've been distant. I needed to feel something. I made a mistake." "A mistake doesn't last months, Elise." He didn't cry. Not then. He felt too hollow. By evening, Elise packed a small bag and left, to get some space. She went to stay at her sister's apartment in northwest Portland. Marcus didn't stop her. He didn't trust himself to. When the door closed behind her, the house fell into a silence so loud it was suffocating. He sat on the couch until the streetlights came on. He didn't move when his phone buzzed with missed calls from friends. He didn't respond to Elise's text saying, "We'll talk tomorrow." Instead, Marcus went to the kitchen, opened a bottle of whiskey, and took a long, burning swallow. Outside, the rain hit the windows harder than ever. The next day, Marcus made a decision. He wasn't going to sit and wait for explanations. He was going to find Aaron. It wasn't hard. Elise had mentioned him before, casually, back when he was just a co-worker at the firm. A senior analyst. Divorced. Worked in a glass office building overlooking the Willamette River. Marcus showed up at the building around noon. He felt strangely calm. Dead calm. Inside the lobby, professionals floated through turnstiles and elevators, laughing, tapping away on phones, all blissfully unaware of the emotional grenade he carried inside him. At the directory, he found the name. Aaron Phelps, Financial Strategy. 5th floor. He took the elevator up. When the doors slid open, the office was quiet, all glass panels, brushed steel, and the soft murmur of phone calls. A receptionist smiled politely. "Can I help you?" "I'm here to see Aaron Phelps," Marcus said. "Do you have an appointment?" "No." She hesitated, but something in Marcus's expression made her pick up the phone. "One moment." After a whispered exchange, she nodded. "You can go back. Last door on the right." The walk through the hallway felt like wading through wet cement. Aaron's office door was cracked open. Marcus could see him inside, mid-40s, fit, expensive haircut, white shirt rolled at the sleeves. He looked normal. Not the villain Marcus had imagined, which somehow made it worse. Marcus knocked once and stepped in. Aaron looked up, and froze. "Marcus." His voice was quiet, too calm. "I figured you'd come eventually." "You know who I am," Marcus said flatly. "Yes." Aaron closed a folder slowly. "Elise told me she confessed." Marcus stepped closer. "I want to hear it from you." "How long?" Aaron hesitated. Not out of guilt, out of calculation. 4 months. Marcus's teeth clenched so hard his jaw trembled. "Did you love her?" A long silence. "No," Aaron said honestly. "But she loved how I made her feel." Marcus wanted to hit him. He wanted to break something. But he didn't move. "She said she never meant for this to happen," Marcus said. Aaron gave him a sad, almost pitying look. "No one ever means for it to happen. But they choose it. Over and over." Marcus felt the room suffocate him. "You should leave her," Aaron said softly. "She'll only keep hurting you." Marcus walked out without another word. That night, Elise came home. Her face was swollen from crying, her hair messy, her hands trembling as she closed the front door behind her. "Marcus," she called softly. He sat in the living room, lights off, staring out the window at the rain. He didn't turn. She approached slowly. "Can we talk?" "Go ahead." She sat on the far end of the couch, hugging her knees. "I ended it with him. Completely. I blocked his number. I told him it's over." Marcus didn't respond. "I want to fix this," she whispered. "I want us." He turned finally, meeting her eyes. "Elise." "I talked to him." Her breath hitched. "You what?" "He told me everything. Or enough." Panic flashed across her face, the kind of panic that told Marcus Aaron had kept her confidences until now. "Elise," Marcus said, voice quiet but firm, "why did you do it?" Her lips quivered. "I felt invisible. I never stopped loving you." "I know," she whispered, voice cracking. "But I stopped loving myself. And he made me feel wanted. Desired. I don't expect you to understand." "I understand betrayal," Marcus said. More than I ever wanted to. She reached toward him. Please, Marcus. Don't give up on us. We can go to counseling. We can rebuild. He pulled his hand back. Rebuild what? He asked softly. Trust doesn't grow back. Not after this. Tears streamed down her face. Please. But Marcus just shook his head. Maybe in another world, another marriage, another version of themselves, this could have been fixed. But here, in this rain-soaked city, in this dim living room, something had died that couldn't be revived. Marcus stood. Elise. I'm filing for divorce. Her sob ripped out of her like a physical wound. No. No, Marcus, please. I deserve better than being someone's consolation prize. She collapsed onto the couch, trembling. It wasn't just physical, she blurted suddenly. That's what you need to know. Marcus froze. We talked every day, she whispered. About everything. My fears. My dreams. You. He knew things about our marriage I never even told you. Marcus felt the final cut, not sharp, but devastatingly deep. Emotional betrayal. The one thing he couldn't forgive. He walked to the hallway closet, grabbed her packed bag from days earlier, and set it gently by the door. Elise, he said quietly, you need to go. She looked up at him with the eyes of a woman who finally understood the cost of what she'd done. Marcus, she whispered, I still love you. He didn't look away, but he didn't flinch either. I believe you, he said. But you loved him too. And that's something I can't live with. The divorce took 4 months. It was clean, civil, and unbearably sad. Friends whispered, took sides, avoided eye contact. Elise moved into a small apartment downtown. Marcus stayed in the bungalow and stripped it of everything that reminded him of her, except the eucalyptus candle she left behind. He kept that one, though he never lit it. He rebuilt his life one project at a time. He worked longer hours. He started running along the river in the mornings. Eventually, the silence in the house became peaceful instead of suffocating. Portland still smelled like rain. But finally, it didn't smell like loss. Marcus never sought revenge. He didn't sleep with anyone else. He didn't trash Elisa's name. He didn't show up at Aaron's office again. But he did something else, something quiet, but powerful. 6 months after the divorce was finalized, he looked at himself in the mirror and realized he felt free. Free of anxiety, free of doubt, free of living in a house where every room reminded him of a lie. And that freedom, that unshakable peace, was something neither Elise nor Aaron ever got. Elise tried to reconcile twice more. Aaron left the firm in a messy scandal involving another coworker. Their affair didn't last. Life moved forward. And Marcus? Marcus healed. Some wounds don't close cleanly. Some don't close at all. But they stop bleeding. They become scars, permanent, visible, but no longer painful. On a warm spring morning, he stood on the porch, breathing in the Portland air. This time, the whisper inside him said something new. You survived.